And hello and welcome back to the Shadow of the Apple podcast, episode 2. Today we're going to be recapping the Mets and Yankees series against the St. Louis Cardinals and the Seattle Mariners. And also going to be talking about their next series against the Miami Marlins and the San Francisco Giants as well. So let's not waste any time and get straight to it. The Yankees were in Seattle this week, and they played honestly pretty well. Would you say that, Ryan?
Yeah, took two of the three games, and they continued to show great starting pitching, and the bullpen was pretty great too. So just continuing on from the first series, 5-1 record right now. I can't complain.
Yeah, and we could talk about a little bit of the first game and then the rest of the two. But they
hmm
lose the first game in walk-off fashion, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, Kyle Riley hit a walk-off single off Paul Blackburn in the ninth inning.
And why do you think Boone decided to keep Blackburn in for a second inning?
You know, I don't know. I think that's it. I don't know. His Boone's post-game interview. I listened to that. It didn't sound like he knew either, to be honest. So, I mean, I don't know. The bullpen, it's not the strongest it's been right now, but there was definitely other moves we could have made, especially once Blackburn got into a jam. I believe it was first and third with one out when Cal came up. So I feel like probably could have brought in somebody else, but I'm not the manager, so I don't know what the situation was exactly behind the scenes.
Yeah, that I guess that sounds about right. But I would say like it is a very weird decision. I mean, it's obviously there's a long way to go. It's still very early, so I mean, I
hmm
guess because I guess managers might be a little stingy with relying on big guys. So that's the only thing I could literally think of.
Yeah,
Um,
he's he's not one of our stronger relievers, obviously. You and all the other Mets fans who could be listening know that. Um,
well,
the Yankees
Paul,
brought him back. What was
hmm
that?
well, Paul Blackburn wasn't a reliever for the Mets. He actually was a starter.
Oh, true. Yeah,
Um,
that is true.
so I guess he's started to transition
Yeah.
into a reliever.
So yeah, for you guys a starter, but yeah, he's not one of our stronger arms, and they brought him back because they saw something in him last year. They're thinking maybe he could be the next Clay Holmes or Luke Weaver, that they can turn into a better player as a reliever. So we didn't see that in the last game, but it's early, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll 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 say this. Overall, from what you told me before, the other two games though, the Yankees pretty much had full control in game two and three. Is that correct?
Yeah, they controlled most of the game. The Max Fried and Cam Schlittler both came out, had great starts again. So they're both scoreless, and they're both of their first two starts on the year. And the offense scored enough runs to get the win both times. Um, yeah, against two solid pitchers too. Logan Gilbert game two, George Kirby in game three.
Yeah, Seattle bringing out some of their big guns against the Yankees early, but obviously they take the series and now they're off against the 5-1 Miami Marlins. So
Mm-hmm.
that will be
Who'd have
interesting
thought?
to see. But you know, obviously it's still early, but it is pretty interesting to see the Marlins get off to such a good start. I mean, they did play against not the strongest teams. I believe the Rockies and the White Sox they started off
Correct.
against.
Yeah.
Um, so it definitely will be a test for Miami. But do you think the Yankees could be in any sort of danger where they could potentially lose the series?
The Marlins, they're obviously not one of the better teams in the league, but they seem to always historically give the Yankees some trouble. Last year, the Yankees went to Miami and got swept. So, I mean, anything could happen. We'll have to see. But I don't think that's going to happen now. It's the home opener for the Yankees, the first series in the Bronx this year. And I assume that they're going to win the series, at least, if not sweep.
Yeah, that does play a big role into it. I mean, and that series I remember was like 90% Yankee fans too. Like it was like basically like they were all Yankee home games in Miami.
Yeah, the stadium was packed with Yankees fans. It was a big disappointment.
Yeah, and this is coming off of Sandy Alcantara or Alcantara, however you want to pronounce it. Who was just I believe had another complete game. He has
Yeah.
I think more complete games than some teams have had in general in the last
Well,
4 or 5 years. Like I think, like I saw the stat line. Don't quote me on it. If you could find it, maybe find it. But he has more complete games than I think some teams like the Astros, the Red Sox. Like he has like around like 11 complete games in like the last few years. Um, so he's
that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, he's been incredible. I'm wondering if the Marlins are going to sell him at some point, but that will happen when that happens during the trade deadline.
Yeah. And I don't
Um,
think we're going to, fortunately for the Yankees, I don't think they're going to run into him this series. So that's good.
yeah, and like you said, the first series at Yankee Stadium, so should be fun for the Yankees fans. But
hmm
I believe that could definitely wrap it up. I mean, it was a pretty
I want to actually mention just one
okay.
thing about the Yankees. I want to talk about Cam Schlittler. I think that this is, I would say, okay, last year on opening day for the Double A Somerset Patriots, he was the opening day starter. I was at that game, and I did not think at the time when I was watching him that he would have this much of an impact as he's had over the Yankees since his call up. Um, he's with these first two games in the series, I mean, of the season for him. He is the first pitcher in Yankees history to have given up 0 runs, 0 walks, and have 15 or more strikeouts in any 2 game span in history. So I think
Wow.
that's very impressive. It's a little bit of a cherry picking stat, but it's dominant so far.
Yeah, and I mean, how much did he? So how much did Schlittler play? Like towards the end of last year, like what sample size did he have?
I don't think it was too much. I think it was, I don't know. I'll check right now. I don't think he pitched. He wasn't called up till like July, I believe. But I mean, we saw the his performance in the playoffs against the Red Sox. That was, that put a lot of people on notice that he could be a really important piece for the Yankees in the future.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I
he
mean,
had 14 games last season, so
and
more than I thought. But
correct me if I'm wrong, but Garrett Cole hasn't come back, right?
nope, not back yet.
So I
The
mean, so it'll be interesting to see how he settles into maybe like a number two role compared to. Well, is he? Would you say he's their number two, number three right now?
Cam,
Yeah, or is he number one?
yeah, well, healthy, I would say the whole healthy rotation. He's number two. I would say once everyone's back, I would say he's probably number four behind Fried, Cole, and Rodon.
Yeah,
So, if fully healthy, this rotation could be great. But I want to also mention you since you said Cole's not back yet, Rodon's not back yet. Hopefully, we'll see them um, make it back on their scheduled timelines. But without those two, the Yankee starters have an 0.53 ERA in the first 6 games of this season, which is the lowest in MLB history. So that's also very impressive.
yeah, yeah. That I mean, that sounds great. And that, I was gonna say, like, I'm curious to see just how he will adapt to like a lesser role because that could benefit him because obviously there's less pressure on him to
Yeah, for
perform.
sure.
Gives him more rest as well potentially. So,
Right. Yep.
but we'll see. So I mean, unless there's anything else, because there's definitely a lot I want to talk about with the Mets because
Yeah, there's
they
definitely more.
lost a
Yeah.
series compared to the Yankees who won their series. So, um, but the Mets lose their series in St. Louis. They only take one game. They win their first game, 4-2, solid performance overall, but the next two games were pretty rough. They get shut out um, completely by St. Louis. The Mets offense had nothing. They had a 17 scoreless inning streak until the sixth in the final game when Juan Soto hit his first homer of the year that just barely got over. Um, the team was 1 for 29 with runners in scoring position across the three games, and they were 0 for 11 in the final game. Uh, they had plenty of chances, mainly towards the ends when former Met legend Ryan Stanek came into the game, and they had a chance. Polanco had a chance to get a triple, but because of his injury, he decided not to go, and they didn't get the run in. So, but just overall, like in the preceding games, the team was 1 for 14 in the opener, 0 for 6 in the second. And they've just overall in general have been really bad with runners in scoring position. Their runners in scoring position average is down to 162, and overall on the season 11 for 68, ranking near bottom of the MLB. So that's definitely the negative
Hmm.
of this offense so far. Bichette looked a little better, I guess. That's a positive. We saw Clay Holmes look really good. I have the stats over for him. We saw Senga as well. Senga had 6 innings pitched, 2 runs allowed, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 92 pitches. So pretty good outing for Kodai overall. Really just the one bad inning, but he was overall had a pretty good performance. And it's unfortunate that the pitching has to suffer because of the offense's struggles, Ryan.
Hmm. Yeah, you mentioned the negatives about the Mets so far, and there's more off the field stuff we're gonna get to in a little bit, but I want to ask you through the first 6 games this team has played, or even just in this last 3 game series, who do you think is the most standout player on the Mets this year? Who's done the most?
Who I feel like has stood out. I mean, it's been hard. It's really been hard. Because I feel like the. Oh, I mean, if I would say, I mean, if there's when it comes to, I guess it has to be pitching because I feel like the hitting has been so just lackluster. Uh, I mean Clay Holmes definitely impressed me. I mean, 5 innings pitched, all two earned runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, and the five strikeouts. 55 of his pitches being strikes. So I mean, I guess Clay Holmes so far. I guess in the series, Clay Holmes.
Hmm.
I would say because like I said, the hitting hasn't really been there yet. There's no one that's really wowed me. I guess Robert has definitely hit a lot better than I thought he would. Um,
Yeah, that walk-off home run helps for sure.
yeah, he's definitely done his job. Vientos has been a little lackluster, and we're gonna get into him, and we're gonna get into how what the Mets did might play a role for him. But I would say, I guess the pitching just there really hasn't been anyone in general per se. I would say just the pitching in general has been impressive so far because that was one of the biggest issues with the team last year, and I guess so far it's looked like it's been fixed to an
Hmm.
extent. Um, and Peralta pitched a lot better in his game. He went into the sixth before the bullpen. Uh, Unfortunately, gave up the runs because uh, they gave up an extra run in the second game. Richard Lovelady, which I'm really curious what Mendoza sees in this guy, but he hasn't been the best because they've also been using him a lot just in general. Um, they get walked off. Tobias Myers gives up a bloop single on right field, just like the stupidest way to lose a baseball game I've seen the Mets lose in a minute. So, but and I think the biggest thing when it comes to the pitching, I would say that's been a negative, is Sean Manaea. You pay Sean Manaea all this money, and you put him in relief, which I understand. You know, you need more help in the bullpen, and you need a guy who can go a lot of innings. But he really hasn't pitched a whole lot. Like I think he's only really had the one appearance on Sunday against the Pirates, um, when Mania is right there, especially someone who can go multiple innings. So it is a little bit of a concern for me, but it's just overall just a disappointing series, and you hope the offense, you really hope the offense gets to figure it out because it's still
Yeah.
early.
And for the offense to, pick it up and score some more runs in the upcoming series, who do you think needs to step it up the most and lead them to some wins?
Well, I think if Lindor has always been a leader on the team, but he needs to step up for sure. Like Lindor, I mean, he started off the series with a triple. So you kind of see that leadoff Lindor magic a little bit. But you need him. The team
Yeah.
it's crazy how much the team depends on him to be good because it's really just from the pattern. You really see it from the last few years. When the team is good, Lindor is good. When the team is not
Hmm.
doing well, Lindor is not doing good. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, the team has heavily relied on Lindor to be good and consistent. So, definitely him, and we're gonna get into him because
Yeah, I
he
was about to say.
we could get into him because Met fans specifically were not happy with Lindor's response to the Cardinals beating us. He kind of was just like, yeah, like they beat us, they pitched us well, we didn't play well. Like he was giving them their flowers, and Met fans were pissed off about that. And former Met Jose Reyes actually had something to say about it, and his quote from Twitter was, "Relax, everybody. My guy Francisco Lindor is going to be good. Bad days happen. That's baseball and can happen to anybody. He's human just like all of us, and watch how he responds because this is going to be good for him and the organization." And I do agree with Jose for sure. It's still early, and Lindor has struggled at the beginning of the season countless times throughout the year, and throughout his time with the Mets. Um, so I'm not too concerned yet. But you need to see at least something. Like maybe if these games were a little competitive, but then that's the thing. People are gonna complain about the pitching next. The thing about Met fans, I feel like recently they're just overreacting a lot, and I understand the season ended the way it did last year, and there's not a lot of good vibes coming into this year. But you gotta. There's been so many overreactions, and even for me, it's kind of like, all right, can we just chill out a little bit? You know, like there's still so much baseball left to be played. Um, so we'll get into the next part, which is what the Mets did afterwards. They brought back JD Martinez, but not as a player. They brought him back as special assistant to baseball operations. And a lot of Met fans were kind of confused what the deal was, like why, what even is this? Like I know you said you were like, what is his job even?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I was questioning what
mhm.
exactly that role involves.
If you want my opinion, I really feel like this is just to help some of the younger guys when it comes to hitting. Mark Vientos was struggling a lot in 2025, and in 2026 you're bringing back a guy who helped him a lot, helped him fix his stance, tips on just how to be a good hitter. Because I mean, JD Martinez was one of the best hitters in baseball. He was a great DH for a while. So, but I mean, it's good to bring him back because he was a big part of that 2024 Mets team. Even when he wasn't playing well, he was just someone in the clubhouse that they had that could help the younger guys, give them advice. Because in every clubhouse, you need some characters.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, even if they're not the greatest players. So I don't know. I just feel like JD Martinez. It's a good it's a good move. I do think it's a good move. It's a little confusing, but if this could involve JD Martinez and involve his advice and help the team in a positive way, I mean, so be it. But you know, not the best vibes overall. After a series loss, but they're going into a four-game series against the San Francisco Giants, who haven't been playing the best. So we'll see what's going on with them. I'm not too sure how because a four-game series it's hard to predict a 4 game series. You don't you want to you at most at the worst case you want to split. Best case you would get a sweep, obviously. Um, so we'll see. The Giants haven't been playing the best though, so that's why if there's any way the Mets can bounce back after a series loss, it could be against a team like the Giants. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, if the
But
Giants play the same way they played against the Yankees, the Mets should definitely be walking out of there with a sweep, if not at least a series win.
yeah, I mean, if there's anything you could say about the Giants and how they played and how they were um, against the Yankees, like just give like a summary.
Yeah, the Giants. I remember you had asked me, does this series show? I don't know exactly how you worded it, but does this series show that the Yankees are really good or the Giants just really bad? And I pretty sure I said it. Neither one. I feel like the Yankees just played better. The Giants didn't really play their best. Their starters got touched up a lot. Logan Webb didn't have his best stuff on opening night. Um, and yeah, the Yankees pitching. I mean, I read the number before about the ERA. The Yankees pitching is starting pitching so far has been phenomenal, but the offense also hasn't. For the Giants, the offense hasn't really done much. So that could be a good sign for the Mets.
So, I mean, they won. So, just to look, they actually did pretty well against San Diego. They won their series against the Padres. So, they did play a little bit better. Um, they won. They won. Actually, they broke out. In the second game, they scored 9 runs. So, they did play a little bit better. And as we look at if you look at the probable pitchers, the pitchers tonight will be David Peterson against Robbie Ray, Nolan McLean in his second start against Tyler Mahale, Clay Holmes against Landon Rope, and then on Sunday you will get Kodai Senga versus their ace Logan Webb. So we'll see, I guess. I mean, it's 4 game series are tough, you know,
Hmm.
especially on you're starting a West Coast trip now. You're going from Missouri to the West Coast. You're going to be playing a bunch of West Coast teams afterwards. Um, but the Giants are, right now the Mets do have a better record. Mets are at 3-3, Giants 2-4. Um, so you just hope the Mets. I really just hope you see more improvement on the offense. I think that's what I'm really looking for in this series. I'm just really looking for really at least a few guys to stand out with the offense and just really in the lineup because obviously it just there hasn't been a lot these last few games. So, but I think that definitely does it for both teams. Honestly, right? I think that's really it. It was kind of a
Yeah, I
quick.
think we've touched on everything. Yep.
So I think next episode we will recap the next series against the Giants and the Marlins, and then potentially do some new segments and some episodes not talking about the current events, talking about other things and other ideas as well. Um, so I think that'll do it for us. Is there anything you want to say else, Ryan, or not?
No, that's it.
All right then. So this is episode 2 of Shout Out the Apple. We'll have that next episode probably on Monday or Tuesday after those series are wrapped up. Once again, this is Dylan. This is Ryan, and we will see you in the next one.